The one question I think we need to start with is, what team are you going to sign with, Lucas?
No idea. That's a crazy
All right.
question to ask, and it hasn't even been winter meetings yet.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page.
All right.
Because
Cool.
I also have no idea. And instead of probing any further and trying to get you to reveal any confidential information,
Can you imagine though? Look, can you imagine if I asked that and you're like, the freaking Reds, dude? And we were like,
he's like, I'm so glad you asked. I just found out.
That'd be cool. No, I have no idea. I still don't. I don't know anything yet, honestly.
Okay. All right. That's a good place to start, because part of this conversation is to kind of give some people a lens into the experience of being a free agent as a Major League Baseball player, because we can make fun of you for being unemployed, but this is not exactly the situation. Your resume is whatever baseball website of choice, whether that is, your Baseball Reference, your Fangraphs, Baseball Savant, and so on. But we're curious about this. This is not the first time you've gone through free agency, so you kind of know a little bit what to expect. Mm-hmm. But here's one way to frame it is you kind of already got to it that like you have no idea, nothing's started yet. But as you reflect back on your first time through free agency, you got to give people a lens into what this experience is like. How many days a week, during the offseason when you're a free agent, are you like actively doing things related to free agency? Whether that's communicating with your agent, whether that's meeting with teams, whether that's, I guess, working out,
like
and throwing
calling
and
someone
sure.
who lives in a place. Like,
yeah,
how many days a week are you doing free agency actively?
Not real. It's not so like rigid like that. It's more fluid. As a player here, I think it can go so many different directions. Like, I know I've played with guys where they had their agent, but like they almost would go over their agent and like do their own contract and like their own thing. I have no desire to do that. You guys know I'm with Ryan. I've been with him since I was a teenager, more so than him just being my agent. He's also one of my best friends. And so I put my full trust into him and like CAA and everything they're doing. I don't get involved in any way whatsoever. I let them do their job talking to the front offices and setting up meetings. And then when it's time for me to have a Zoom meeting or meet a manager or pitching coach for lunch or whatever that may be, then I'm ready for that. But as far as like my off season, it's like the same as any other off season when it comes to like the like work and preparation for the season. Yeah. It's just, I don't know where that season's going to be yet.
When you do the Zoom calls, like, what do you wear? Like, you just like, you would wear something a little nicer than that, or you would.
No, it depends on the timing. Like we're doing this podcast in the morning. I'm going to go work out after this. So I'm wearing my workout clothes. If I had a Zoom call with like the Detroit Tigers or the Rakuten Monkeys or, the Seoul Swallows, whatever.
Yeah. That's a team for sure.
I would probably just wear whatever.
Okay.
You
wouldn't like suit up? You wouldn't like suit up like a job interview?
No, I don't, because I don't think it's not a traditional job interview. It's so different. It's so different.
And this
is it more like, wait, is it more like a first date than a job interview?
It's like the team is pitching you.
Right. Like it goes both ways. It goes both ways, right? You obviously want to be impressive, but they are also trying to make you feel like that's somewhere where you would want to go.
Yes.
So it's going both ways. That's why you're kind of interviewing each other. And I think that's kind of what Jake's getting at. Was that something that you kind of learned last time when you went through this?
Yeah. I mean, I think I only had like one Zoom call, and that was with the Red Sox. And I had like one lunch with another team. My free agency.
Who paid?
Oh God. I'm pretty sure that they paid.
They paid.
Okay. And both were very nice. Good conversation. My thing is like, when I go into this thing, I don't want to like suit up because that's not my personality.
Right.
I want to be
That'd be
myself
so
and show
misleading.
like if I were to, if I'm talking to the manager, I'm talking to the GM, I'm talking to the pitching staff, like I want to be myself. And then if you like me for myself, great. It might be a good fit.
Yeah. So that sounds like a first date.
I guess
that part
so.
of it, right?
Maybe there's
Where it's like,
some of that type of vibe in there, but to me, it's more like it's a pitch meeting. Like they're pitching you, and you're just kind of like taking it all in and asking questions.
is it fun being a free agent? Like, I know this is your second time. Like, do you enjoy it? Is it cool having people be like, you're great, we love everything about you, versus say like arbitration, where it's like, you suck, like like we don't want to pay you anything?
I think you're going to get different answers based on who you're asking.
Yeah.
Like if you ask Dylan Cease if free agency is fun, I'm sure he's going to say, yeah, it was a blast. I made over $200 million.
And I was done by Thanksgiving.
And it was
right?
like yeah, I'm sure that in his case, it was like, the Toronto was interested early, and they went and were like, all right, this is our number. And Toronto was probably like, all right, we see your number. Here's our number. It's our final offer. We're going to pull it in 10 days. And they took it because it's a load of money, right? That's my assumption. I didn't talk to him.
Right.
I have no idea how his free agency went. My free agency, my first one, didn't go like that at all. I down my leg the last 2 months of the season and ruined my numbers. So my value
playing for 5 different teams.
Yeah. So my value completely tanked going into free agency. I was lucky enough to get with the Red Sox, and I really loved and cherished my experience there, despite the fact that as soon as I got there, I blew my elbow out. So that sucked. But then last year had a really, really fun time, and it was great. And we made the playoffs, and then I got hurt again. And it was like the worst thing that could have ever happened.
I want to ask about like the 2025 Red Sox as this character. Cause like for us from the outside, when we're not in the room, I'm not around the team every day. I was living in New York, now I'm in DC. You guys were a reality TV show from the outside, right? There was like a lot of chaos, there was drama, there's all these things going on. When you're in it, do you feel that?
No.
Or is that narrative just like this outside contrivance?
I think that's just how it is in general. Like with any narrative, I've seen some stuff online about like the Mets, and it's like, it can be a fun read and like fun to like discuss on the internet, but none of it is like a reality TV show. None of it is actually
everything is
like
smaller. That. Everything is smaller than it is.
Everything is smaller in reality. Yes. Rafi Devers was always a joy to be around. And I don't think that he ever, at least from what I noticed, he never like let any of his own personal frustrations with what was going on like leak out, and like,
yeah,
he was never like being an asshole to anybody or anything like that. Like he was always a great teammate in my book. And, I've been hearing more of the same from when he went over to San Francisco as well. I think that he had some of his own personal frustrations and, disagreements that led to, where it went. But
that's like, that crap doesn't influence your day to day when you're on the team. Like you're still waking up, doing your work, and playing a baseball game.
Yeah. Like it was a weird day when he got traded. We were on a plane, and we're like on the tarmac. Usually like you get onto the charter jet and it's like, all right, here we go. But like we're sitting there for a while, and guys are wondering like, oh, is there like a mechanical issue? What's going on? And then people start talking, oh, I think there's a trade going down, whatever. And then we found out it was Rafi, and it was like, whoa, what?
Was he on the plane, or like he hadn't gotten on the plane yet?
He was like on the plane and then left the plane.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. So it was like, whoa, that's crazy. Again, that was like the extent of it for us. It's like,
Right.
damn.
You guys are like, whoa, that's crazy. Headphones on, nap time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right.
You don't have a choice.
It's like,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
maybe
a lot of baseball left to play.
you have like a little bit of a conversation amongst yourselves, and it's like, all right, like we're still a team here. We still got to go and win. We're going to be fine. We're going to figure it out. Moving on. That's how it is. Like guys get traded and moved and DFA'd and option, and it happens all the time.
The last Red Sox thing we wanted to do before we kind of spin it forward more is just, you mentioned pitching behind Garrett Crochet in the rotation, you having the unique perspective of having seen him earlier in his career with the White Sox. Yeah, I mean, talk about seeing that up close. I know he's someone that what he did in last year in 2024 with the White Sox certainly got a lot of people's attention. But when you do it with Boston after the trade, after signing the extension on a playoff team, it's a little bit different. So yeah, I mean, what was the perspective watching it up close? Did anything, was it like validation, like, oh, I knew it could do this, or was it like, I did not see this coming?
Well, I knew everybody knew he had the tools, like the physical tools and everything like that. I think what I was most impressed with was the growth and maturity, and it was, you know, over a short period of time, over a few years. You know, when he first came up, he was like 20 years old, 21, didn't pitch in the minor leagues at all. And I saw a lot of my younger self when I first entered the Nationals clubhouse. Kittens running around back there. And it was like not wanting to, like, you know, say anything wrong or do anything, and just kind of like, you know, be like a shadow.
Right.
And
Well, because you guys you had some big personalities on that staff in Chicago with you and Carlos and Cease. Like if I was a
Keuchel,
little guy, like if
Lance
I was
Lynn?
a kid walking into that room,
Lance Lynn, yeah.
I would be intimidated by that. Not that you guys did anything wrong, but like that's a lot. Like not just veteranship. That's like 5 big personalities.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd argue when I first came up, I was even worse than he was. I was like petrified when I was, you know, 21 and I got called up to the big leagues. The big difference between me and him was when I got called up, I was petrified and I sucked. He was disgusting. Like we put him in the bullpen, right? He's throwing 102 miles an hour, crazy leg kick, like wacky delivery. And it was like we're looking at each other in dugout like, holy shit. And then, you know, he dealt with some injuries. He had the Tommy John, he had whatever else. He's kind of pushing through injuries. And I remember he would always say, like, I want to be a starting pitcher. You know, I should be a starting pitcher. And I think he would kind of butt heads with the White Sox about that, if I'm not mistaken, here and there. And then he finally got the opportunity, and it was like he never looked back. It was like, yep, this is what I do. I'm one of the best in the world. And yeah, the work ethic speaks for itself. Like he's always worked very hard, very focused. He's one of those guys where it's like baseball. You know what I mean? Baseball. That's it. And it really works in his favor. I mean, you see just, again, I knew him when he was young, and then we reconnected. He comes over in the trade, signs the extension, and immediately he's like the leader. He immediately became the leader. One of, if not like the leader in the clubhouse, along with like Bregman and whoever else on the position player side. He became the leader and led very well, not only through example, but vocally. I'm like, who is this guy? This is incredible. And he's hilarious. He's super funny. You know, I'll glaze him for another 20 minutes. How long do you want me to go for here? You know, it's
no,
like,
you're good. You honestly, you set up, and again, that insight is awesome. And I think, right, that transformation is not something that everyone totally understood, because as far as a lot of the other Red Sox were concerned, it's just like, this is this all-star pitcher that showed up and is really good, and that's now he's on our team, and that's really cool. But you were like, no. That was not
like,
the
how
case.
did this happen?
That. It goes beyond that. He's worth every single penny. He's worth way more than his extension. He's worth so much more than that. But like, it makes sense. I get it. I get why you do that extension.